want to do anything at a particular point in time, and I really want to be home sleeping right now. However, you can't do nothing. You have to push forward. That's one of the important things in life. Mary is giving me a look that says, I don't want to push forward. I want to go home and go to bed. Yes, Phoebe. So, Phoebe.
Yeah. Did you get a haircut?
Got them all cut.
All cut?
Every one of them.
Oh, wow. That's insane, dude.
That's insane, D. Yo, man, Dilio, what's up? Yo.
I didn't say, I said dig.
Dig.
Like you're digging. Like, cause
The only one digging right now is you.
I used to say diggity dog.
You say diggity dog. I don't say diggity dog.
I said diggity dog. So for short, I call people dig.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That works.
Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. It says like hot dog diggity.
Hot diggity, dog diggity. Ooh, what you do to me. It's an old song.
Wait, what?
It's an old song. You really want me to bust out the vocals? You sure?
Yeah.
The screen door slams, Mary's dress waves. Well, like a vision, she dances across the porch as the radio plays. Roy Orbison singing for the lonely. Hey, that's me and I want you only. Don't turn me home again. I just can't face myself alone again. It's a song called Thunder Road by Bruce Springsteen. It's a classic.
I know who that is.
That's a good thing.
Every single thing
All right. Now, yesterday we did kind of an introduction to inequalities. And today we're going to, bam, in honor of Emerald, we're going to kick it up a notch. Yes?
Every single time you do that in a video, and I watch a video,
You jump.
I jump. And it's not fun.
Oh, it's hysterical. I'm at home laughing like crazy. Well, I can just see Phoebe doing that. Now. Which of the following choices is in the solution set of? Okay, so there's two ways we can do this question. One way is to substitute all the choices. The other way is to solve it. I'm actually going to do it both ways very quickly. At least the first way quickly. I'm going to take a -6 and plug it in. What's -2 times -6? 12. What's 12 plus 7? Is that less than 15? No. Let's try -5. What's -5 times -2? Is it plus 7? Is that less than 15? Let's try -4. -2 times -4. 8 plus 7? Key question here. Is 15 less than 15? No. Therefore, let's try -3. -2 times -3? -2 times -3? 6 plus 7? 13. 13 is less than 15. So therefore, the answer is D. We could also just have solved it from the beginning, but I did want to emphasize that a wonderful strategy, if you ever come across an equation that is so difficult to solve that you have a hard time with it, a great strategy is to just check the choices. -7, die. -2n is less than 8. Divide by -2, and this was the last example that we did yesterday. It was very similar to this. And what we said is when you multiply or divide an inequality by a negative, you must change the direction of the inequality. If it was less than, it becomes greater than. If it was greater than, it becomes less than. Because you are also negating the inequality. In this case, it started off as less than. So if I'm going to negate less than, it has to what? If you're going to negate less than, what does it become? Greater than. If you open up your wallet and you have less than $100, or let's do it the opposite point of view. If you have more than $100, and then you negate that, you have what? Less than. Negate means to make it its opposite. So any time that you multiply or divide by a negative, I don't care what it's into. This could have been a -8. That's irrelevant. I don't care about addition and subtraction. I only care about multiplying or dividing. When that happens, I must switch the direction of the inequality. In words, then symbols, describe the solution pictured below. God bless. This is x greater than 0.
YX.
And if you wish, that's fine. And in words, I would say it's all numbers that are greater than 0. This is in symbols. All right, any question on those two? Okay, a little exponent review now. Simplify each expression. Now, the first one is a power situation. When we raise a power to a power. Don't forget to cube the -5. That's the biggest mistake I see kids make. -5 to the third means -5 times -5 times -5. It is in the parentheses. That comes out to -125. N to the what? What? 9, yes. Nice and loud, guys. Come on, we got to get a little bit more pep in the step today. Okay, next up, I got to square first. So if I take 2x cubed and square it, just like the previous example, that's going to come out to 4x to the 6th. Now I got to take 4x to the 6th, and I got to multiply that by 4x, which becomes 16x to the 7th. So far, so good? Yes?
1A, how can you do 5 cubed but you don't do 3 cubed?
Because you're raising a power to a power. One way to look at this is to instead write it this way. To cube means to use it as a factor 3 times, right? So -5 times -5 times -5. In other words, you're multiplying the coefficients. And then I'm adding the exponents, which is 3 times 3, not 3 to the third power. So you get 9. Okay? Make sense? All right. God bless you. Now, you know, I think that until the day I retire, I will always know your sneeze. I don't think. The worst one is my mother's. Achoo! The worst sneeze I ever heard. And you know who's the second worst? Oddly enough, Coach Fran.
Oh, it's so loud.
It's super loud and it trails off. Like the dongle effect. Or the Doppler effect, I'm sorry. Yeah, a dongle, this is a dongle right here. It's the connection in here. But it's the Doppler effect. You ever notice how, like, if a car is blaring its horn and it's driving at you, the pitch increases, and then when it drives away, it kind of fades out? You did learn. Okay. And the Doppler effect in earth science. Wow. Okay. All right. What's 16 divided by 8? 2. X to the second. So that was kind of disjointed, but hopefully you get where we're coming from with that. Yes?
Never mind.
Sammy? I thought you were raising your hand. You were just... Why do you have that jacket on? Because it's going to put you to sleep. It's too warm. It's too comfortable. I know. All right. Ha! Negative exponent. Reciprocal. So I flip it. Then I square it. And I get 9 fourths.
Oh, I got it right.
Nice. Very nice. And yes. Oh, I definitely can't hear Francesca. You could do that, but you would get 2 1/4, I think, and then do math enter enter.
Yes.
You got what? Good, you can do that. Yeah. The reason I take the time to not do it in the calculator is because if I put variables in it, you can't do it in the calculator anymore. So I want to make sure I have the proper technique and I'm not just calculator dependent. Okay, you with me on that? Like that one on the test, you couldn't use a calculator for. Okay? All right. All I'm seeing from Francesca is. All right. So, any questions about to do it? Are we comfortable with how we're working with exponents? Are we okay with our introduction to inequalities? Right? Okay, and so we have these strategies, these algorithms, these paradigms, if you will, for working with inequalities, and they're just like working with equations, but one exception. Actually, there's kind of 2. There's one main one and one minor one. The main one is if you multiply or divide by a negative, you got to switch the inequality. There's one other one that we'll talk about when we come across it, but I don't know when we're going to come across it. Okay, so all we're going to do today is these 3 inequalities. We're going to work on them, we're going to solve them, and I'm going to turn you loose on your homework. So, number 1, do it. Very simple, very short, very sweet. Maya, where do you have your competitions?
Everywhere.
So you travel a lot to it?
Yeah, this weekend we're in Connecticut.
Okay. I was going to say if they were local, I might want to check them out at some point. Now, I say that a lot, but I almost never show up. It's pretty rare. So, but I like to bring my camera and I like to learn about things. Learning is very important to me. You can't be using a calculator to do 9 divided by 3, right, Font? Okay. I think Font hates me. Do you hate me, Font? Oh, she hesitated. She went like, nah. I think she looked up and went, how's this gonna affect my grade? I love you. All right, that. 3n is less than 9. Divide by 3. Divide by 3. N is less than 3. No! Did I multiply or divide by a negative?
Is there any negative?
Only if you multiply or divide by a negative. Okay? But this is good. Listen, that's why we're doing these examples. It's a good thing that we made that mistake because I don't think we're going to make it anymore. Right, Font? All right. Now, try this one here. Christina, I have a website, and I have several websites, and if I could patent your handwriting, it would look so good, especially the education one. It's like perfection. There you go. Pardon me. Oh, yeah. I'm redigesting that bagel. Eggs and bagel.
I don't like you, you made me
No, I know. I apologize. When kids do it to me, I feel like an idiot. I apologize. I really do. The next time's going to be on purpose, though.
Isn't there a different one? Because like teacher probably know -4
There we go. So Phoebe's getting into the act. There are kids I tutor a lot of kids, and there's multiple kids over the years I tutor who they sit down at the table opposite me and they just go, and I can't help but just sit there and yawn and yawn and yawn. All right, let's distribute the 5. 15x plus 35 plus 2x less than or equal to 7x plus 55. Now, let's put the x's together there. 17x plus 35 is less than or equal to 7x plus 55. Minus 7x, minus 7x. And I'm actually going to go show you guys something pretty cool in a couple of minutes from this. Yeah, well, it's the beauty of math. 10x plus 35 is less than or equal to 55.
Oh yeah.
Get with the program. I'm talking to my magic wand here. Die. That means the battery must be dying. 10x is less than or equal to 20. Divide by 10. X is less than or equal to 2. Agree? All right, do I get a giant booyah?
Booyah!
How many people got it right? Sam, you okay there, or are you just exhausted too? How many people just are not into this today? Okay. Thanks, I appreciate that. I used to think I was fairly motivational as a teacher, but apparently not. Now, I want to go in a different direction here. Let's go back to this. No, you can just watch. You don't have to do anything. Let's instead subtract the 17x. So 30. Someone gonna puke? 35 is less than or equal to negative 10x plus 55. Now I'm gonna minus 55. And I get negative 20 is less than or equal to negative 10x. Then I divide by negative 10. And I get 2 is less than or equal to, greater than or equal to, so I have to switch that sign, x. Now, did you notice how the x and the 2 are on opposite sides here compared to here? So, isn't it awkward with the x on the right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to put it on the left. The only rule is if we ever want to switch sides like that, you're free to do it anytime you want. But if it points to the x here, it has to point to the x there. Does that make sense? Right? Isn't this the same statement, 2 is greater than x, or x is less than 2? Isn't that the same thing? Right? Okay. So I just want you to notice that either way, the switching of that sign here made the answers ultimately work out to be the same. And if it wasn't for that, the answers would not have worked out to be the same. And then math would be logically inconsistent, which would destroy the whole foundation upon which math is built. All right, any questions? All right. Now let's go to the last one. And here, Francesca, we're going to make your day. Go ahead. Do it. Francesca's been itching to do this since the start of class. Yasmin, you all right today? Okay. Now, did you hear me yawn a second ago? Why didn't you call me Chewbacca? Kids have been calling me Chewbacca for years. And you're wearing Star Wars, so I would have thought you would have been all over this like crazy. All right, -5, die. Negative x over 4 is less than 2. Now, the reason Francesca's so excited here, and I know that you just look at her and you see the excitement just oozing out of all of her pores, is we get to negate. We have to multiply by -4, not x, I'm sorry. And multiply by -4, die. And that goes there, so we get to switch the direction of the inequality. X is greater than -8.
Oh, yeah.
All right, did anybody forget? Oh, it looks like Yasmin forgot.
You did.
I got 8, not -8.
Oh, you forgot, okay. Yeah. When you multiply or divide by the negative, okay, you also have to remember the rules for the actual operation, not just the sign rule. Yes?
Okay, I got that answered. But I changed the x over 4 to -1/4 x.
That's fine. And then divide with the calculator with parentheses negative. Yeah, that's fine. That works wonderfully. You get the same answer. If you do 2 divided by -1/4, you will not get 8. You will get -8. Either that or you can send the calculator back and claim mental duress and get a huge lawsuit victory because you got a question wrong because of the calculator. It's like a class action suit. Any other questions? Okay, so we've been through inequalities. Look, we do the same exact thing we do with equations, but there are 2 things we have to remember. The major thing we have to remember is if you multiply or divide by a negative, what do we have to do to the inequality? Switch it. And the second thing was what we worked on before and we came over to here. If I ever get one of these awkward looking ones that says this,
Ew.
it was right. So switch it, but make sure if it points to the x here, it points to the x there. And then we're good to go. And as far as the graphing goes, I didn't really talk too much about graphing, but you just, whatever the number is, you put the open circle on it. There's no line underneath, so do I fill it in?
No.
No. And as long as the letter's on the left, the arrow goes in the same direction. That's it. Okay? By the way, mathematics is so incredibly brilliant. The less than symbol is nothing more than the less end of the number line. And the greater than symbol is nothing more than the greater than arrow side of the number line. Yes?
You're always standing over there, so why don't you just bring that thing over there?
Yeah, I always thought about that
Can
too.
I tell you something?
Go for it.
That's brilliant.
I always thought about that too, but I never said anything.
Well,
I
see,
did.
if there's one thing that we all know about Sophie,
She'll say
is she will absolutely speak her mind.
That's true.
Yeah, she's going to say what she thinks.
I mean,
Well, that's not straight enough.
see, that's what I'm talking about, bro.
Yeah, man. Yo,
Yeah,
stuff
big,
like that.
Straight
Huh?
either.
Yeah, diggity dog. All right. So you can now start your homework. Get done with your. See what happens when we don't have a quiz?
We didn't have a quiz yesterday.
How do we do this?
Oh. What's
You
this?
just, I
bracket, is it supposed to like
you just do that negative goes to
I have a question about this.
Can I just turn the lights on?
Yeah.
So now it's a negative. Mr. Lincoln,
Well, I'm going to get myself.
do you think he knows how to skip Ross?
What do you guys get for this one? Wasn't it supposed to be N?
Mr. Lincoln, do you know how to skip Ross?
What's that?
Do you know how to skip Ross?
Yes, I do. I'm very good at it. I love skipping rocks.
I like to do it, but I'm really bad at it. And
Oh, yeah?
whenever I go to a beach to do it, there's always waves.
Yeah, that'll kill it. But you just want to make it so it hits the surface parallel.
My dad can do it really good.
You know what I love so much about skipping rocks? Is life is so fast and so complicated as you become an adult on Long Island. There's very little free time and you're always playing catch up. And when you're skipping a rock, it's like life slows down for a little bit and you got a chance to relax and mellow out.
Ever seen the picture of
No, I don't.